Was it cold there, mate?
No, not a snow. It's only 5 degrees last night, so it was it was quite warm. I chucked an extra blanket on just in case because I took a couple of photos about 6 o'clock, and the bloody mist was all over the golf course,
Yeah.
And I thought, shit, this is going to be cold. So I chucked another blanket on. And anyway, it was just right. I slept like a bloody log till 5 o'clock this morning. It was bloody good.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I was twisting and turning all night last night. It wasn't the cold, it's just me. But it's 13 degrees here at the moment, and it's going to be a top of 14. So
14, you'd have a couple of lumps in your throat.
Oh, bloody! That's why do you think I got this on? I haven't got.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm in the house and I got a jacket on. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. What is happening here? Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit going on in there. Like ideas, bloody systems and stuff, and there. But just while it's just the two of us, you were having a bit of a rant there the other day about something. Was it that business thing that Nobby's into, or was it something else?
Yeah, no, we both and Sherry was involved in this last year. There was this virtual conference thing that was set up where you could buy a stall. So it's like, instead of going to a
I remember that one. Yeah.
Well, it was on again, and it's on today. Today's the last day, and the issue I got with it is that the concept is great, but unless you've got a good promoter and whoever is organizing it, it doesn't, and it didn't work. Basically, it didn't work last time, but because I know the guy personally, I think, oh well, I'll support him again and do it again. And I paid for it, and just there was basically money down the tubes, right? Got zipped out.
That's that. Okay, now it all comes back because I had a look in it last year. Look, and then there was another one start up. Must have been earlier this year, called the gym or something like that, fitness gym or business gym.
That's Paulina. Paulina's, and I can't remember who. I think it's Bobby running that.
Yeah,
but that's to me that I went to that, and that was gimmicky. That just didn't get. That was like playing a video game, which didn't do it for me.
Yes, somewhere along the line that they're just not getting off the ground.
Yeah.
The concept is very good.
The other thing about, like, even this one, right? Having something where you got video recordings where you're meant to be in an auditorium listening to people, to me, defeats the purpose. And what they've done, it's even worse this time. They got all the same speakers all 3 days. Right? So
the guy must have spent a fortune on it.
No. I know the guy spent a fortune on the software. He got creamed with the software, but he shouldn't have bought it because he shouldn't have bought it at the price he bought it at. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But it gets down to what Sherry was saying the other day. It just gets down to the management and the organization of it and the flow, of what's meant to happen. Like the last time it happened, we gave them lots of feedback on what we believe was wrong, right? And the same things are happening this time. The networking meetings were supposed to be there all the time, right? What they've done is they've set it up so there's a meeting a couple of times a day for an hour, and it's run by a networking group which are promoting their own products, which, like, it might be okay. You've got somebody to do it, but the idea was that you could go into this session any time of the day and jump into a networking meeting where hopefully there would be other people, even if it was only 2 or 3, it wouldn't matter. But they were meant to have a host for that meeting. Instead of that,
sounds a little bit like politics, running on an ideology.
Just like to say I'm pissed off with it is probably being polite,
Because you'd probably use more colorful language.
Yeah. And you know,
I
and
just lost one of my crowns.
well,
Literally right when I got on, it fell off.
so back.
So I
Just
no
watch the
longer
lipstick
get to
doesn't
use
fall
it.
off. Just watch the lippy. Watch the lippy.
I think those are attached. I don't have any lipstick on. I don't think
Okay.
anymore. Lip gloss, but yeah, I was like, oh wait, oh, let me take that out.
As long as you didn't, well, it's good you didn't swallow it.
I've had it put back on twice, so I'm about ready to go. Okay, do something fucking else with this tooth because I'm like, I do
Obviously,
not feel like clean.
they need to change the glue. They need to upgrade the quality of the glue.
Probably grind down more of my tooth, and
It's the tooth
Like-
fairy you got to worry about.
at some point, I'm just gonna be like, take the little fucker out because they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Just take it out. It's fine. It's way back there. I won't look too country bumpkinish.
That's good. Well, it's
Well, I'm
amazing.
sorry that event didn't go better for you, but I'm glad I did not do that. And I'll tell you, there's certain ways, and I actually helped with an event here for a women's group that I belong to. And one of the most valuable tidbits that I got was you create a reason for people to stop and talk with every vendor. Problem being because they weren't saying this networking group is specifically for Australia, because there's not really a time that like I'm not going to get up in the night and man a booth for 3 days. So that my booth was left unattended, like it was a 0, but I don't even know if anybody was there anyway. But the point is, when you have a live networking event, and even this was what I did with the last one, I'm like, they had to go and get a card or a punch from every thing. In this particular case, in an online one, you could say, hey, stop and greet the person and find out what their secret word is. And it could be a big long sentence of, the whole thing, and you put it in order. We're so glad you're here today. Please stop by or please register for our newsletter at, whatever. I mean, you got a different word from every vendor. And if you did, then when you turned in what the answer was, you were in the drawing for whatever the prize was, and every vendor donated something. So it was this enormous basket with like $500 or $700 worth of stuff in it.
Yeah, and
Trust
I think
me, people stopped at every single booth.
But and you could do that, like even though you're saying it was physical, you could do exactly the same thing in the virtual world. You just use it.
100%, but you can't if you don't have it in a time frame where people are awake. You've got to have fine. You know what? He's got the freaking software. Do a US version, do an Australian version, do a UK version. Do your damn job. Go get the vendors in the right country where people are freaking awake, and then try to do it instead of just trying to randomly pull in.
A super cute individual.
Joe, who was that? Was that Siri or Google?
Who's
or
passing wind? Who's passing wind? Okay.
Well, that was an interesting sound, if that's what it was.
Yeah, it's a bit melodic, wasn't it?
That's a good point, Sherry, about do it in the time zones. Very good.
I mean,
point.
there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't feel left out. I would simply, if I tried to get in and said, what country are you in? I would say that's not going to work very well for you unless this is your commitment. You're going to show up. And the reason you have to show up is because there is something you have to give to visitors when they go through in order for that. And you know what? You don't want your people saying, well, I couldn't put the thing in because they weren't in their booth.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, there's ways to do it, but that's not the way, in my opinion. And he would have had 3 events, and he might have been able to tap 3 different markets for 3 different costs.
But even
I don't know.
But even when you say that, like you could, like it's promoted as a 24/7 event, right? That's the issue. If it was promoted as a 3-day event, but at these available times, right? You go, okay. And I'm agreeing with you, Sherry, for once, but The whole thing about if you open it up, like you said, if he went and he got, 8 people overseas at different times, then they could be the presenters for those time zones, right?
Right.
But it means that then the people come in and they check out all the Aussie stands. But it's a meant to be an international event. I don't think there was anybody there from overseas presenting or has a stall. So yeah. But you can guess what we're talking about, Nobby.
Sorry, he was too busy manning his booth. There were thousands through there today.
Yeah.
Is that a cupcake, Nobby, is it?
No, it's upside down cheesecake.
Oh, okay. Was the coffee good?
Not with that one, Ray. That's just a photo, Ray.
Was the coffee good?
That's just a photo, Ray. That's just a photo.
I realise it's a photo, yeah.
Yeah.
Miles will ask us the cake was good as well.
I don't know.
What sort of answer are you going to give me then?
It's just a
No,
photo.
that's the
Ray.
coffee. That's the coffee, he says.
Ray,
I took a photo of the coffee and I got a cake instead.
Hello.
Oh,
Earth to Ray.
shit, I'll
Earth
put up
to
with you
Ray.
Australians like this.
This is getting a bit like yesterday where we got that repeated question all the way through the bloody session. So good one.
I'm sorry, Miss.
Anyway.
Well, I have a question this week for people.
I got a headache.
Well, actually, I have something I would actually like to talk about.
I'm married.
Well, it's not about your habits, Nobby. So we're good. Actually,
Anyway, the question is it the money or the bag?
No, not the bag. I'm married. I told you.
Or is it the cupcake? Okay, not quite sure. Okay.
lost
Wait,
control of the room.
Where you go, Sherry, before you get heckled off the screen.
I know, right? Before I get heckled off
There's
the
a mute
screen.
button there somewhere, Sherry.
Yes, that's correct.
You're outnumbered.
I
Sherry.
would actually, and Fred, you might have to help lead this, but I actually want to have a discussion on Google My Business, because I was putting my stuff in something that I can share about after we talk about this, but I was looking at my Google My Business. First of all, it's hard as fun to find now because I don't know what the hell it's called. And it's very hard to find it. And then when I did think I found it, I was unclear if I was in the right place. And I'm like, how am I even doing anything with this? I mean, I have it connected to the CRM. So there are posts being made on that. But I have no idea. I can't say, here, go check out my Google My Business site or whatever the hell it's called these days, because I can't freaking figure out how to find it. What the address is, and if somebody goes to find me, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but I wanted to ask if people are utilizing it, how they're utilizing it, because Google's huge, and that's really where most people are finding somebody that they're looking for a specific thing, and so I think it's important to be on there, but it's also important to share it as part of your social networking, because the search engines are attached to it very precisely. So I kind of wanted to have a conversation around that. I don't know if anyone else has theirs actively working. Anybody? Anyway, marketing man? Robbie, you have yours?
Yep. Each month I get a message from Google and it says, here's the activity. I think it only came through a couple of days ago. Here's the activity on your Google thingy. I actually use my accountant's address rather than my house. I don't want people, checking out my home address. So the views were up, and the number of people requesting my contact details apparently were down by about 50%. So I was going to see if I can find a Google My Business expert somewhere online, perhaps, that might be able to help. So your question's very appropriate, Sherry.
Well, there you go. And I think it's kind of a big deal considering how huge Google is and also attached to YouTube, all those things. That is such a massive undercurrent with it. So it's like, as a business owner, if you want to be relevant, you've got to have a presence there. I know they like a physical address, but I don't show mine.
You don't have to have a physical address. It can be a service business, and you can just put in a radius from where you operate, and that works just as well. What I say just as well, there's probably an extra, you get an extra bonus for putting in a physical address, but it doesn't really rate that much anymore. But the thing about Google My Business, the same as any social media platform, you've got to be active on it, right? So you've got to be posting on a regular basis, and the content's got to be relevant as well. So like one of the tricks with Google My Business is if you're out and about, like Nobby goes out and about and he, goes to a coffee shop, then when you're out there, you can check in to Google My Business, right? So you can actually, and you can write a review on the coffee shop. So that, again, that's seen as activity. If you get a new team member in your business, then you post a picture of the team, add it up. So the more photos you put up, the better. And the reason I say when you go out and about with your phone, when you take a photo with your phone, all those photos are geotagged. It means that Google knows where the photo was taken. Knows
Yeah,
exactly.
sometimes that's real helpful.
Yeah, but when you post it up on Google, it knows that you're in the local area, right? So then it gives you a boost to post your information out to people in the local area. And that's what Google My Business is about. It's not about getting exposure to the wider audience of, interstate people or anybody else. It's about getting exposure to people in your local service area. And that's why when you put up, in your case, Sherry, it'd be, 10 or 15 or 20 miles from your location, then it should actually disseminate that information out to those people. The other benefit of Google My Business is that it helps you get traffic to your website. So when you put up a post on Google My Business, there's an option to put up a button on each of the posts. So the button can say, learn more, call me, make an appointment, whatever you want it to say. And that's important. So even within the CRM system, when you put up a post, it gives you that option of what do you want on the button for Google My Business. So, if you want people to learn more about something, then you have the learn more button and you just send them to the website, to that landing page about whatever that image was about. Right? And usually it's images that you're posting anyway.
And now they're not that on Google My Business, they're not like fussy about if you're putting links to outside pages and things like that, right?
No, they're about traffic. So if you put, that's why the button's there, because it gives you the thing. And then the other benefit is you can actually track it through your Google Analytics on your website to see where the
Okay,
stuff.
so that leads me to my next question on here, because I have this open on my computer because they said the analytics were changing. It says now 22 days and whatever. I don't know, I don't understand what to do with this.
Okay.
It says it's going to stop processing data on July 1st, but I'm like,
What you've got to do is when you go into, like when you look at putting Google Analytics, but there's two different things here. One is Google My Business. That's one entity, right? Then you've got Google Analytics, which is the other entity. When you go into Google Analytics, right? And that's the same thing. It's analytics.google.com. So if you go in there, when you set that up, it'll talk you through setting up to the new G4 version of Google Analytics, because the old version just won't work anymore. Right?
I'm assuming it's because I have analytics, Google Analytics, Fatima set it up to my website. That's what it's catching, right? So it's not talking about anything to do with Google My Business. It's actually what the website stats that I have up on it.
Yeah, so you need to get Fatima to have a look at, go back into log into Google Analytics and check and see the prompts. And because all it is that you need to just change the script that's on the website to allow for G4. So that's there.
I didn't know if that was something everybody got or if it was just
no, it's everybody. The information would have gone out. Well, It depends. I haven't got it, so maybe it is only going out to people that are using the old version. Right, that information. So it says that you've got the old script on your website that you need to change. Right.
I see.
Otherwise, you just won't get the analytics.
Okay. I think I have another thing on there that measures, but I wanted to have Google because that's what everybody uses, right?
The reason analytics is so important is that, again, Google loves Google. So as soon as Google sees traffic happening on a website, and it does that through analytics, right, then it's going to send more people to your website. So it's, you know, it's the old hamster wheel or snowball or whatever you want to call it. So the more traffic you get, the more they'll do it. And then the more often they'll re-index. So if you change stuff on your website, unless you've got search engine, so search console, Google Search Console installed, Google won't re-index your website anymore, right? You got to tell it to re-index it unless there's significant daily traffic, right? Then they'll go and have a look and they'll crawl maybe once a week.
Is that because are they doing stuff like that, making you opt in and do the work to stay connected because there are so damn many now?
They're making you stay relevant, not stay connected. They're making you stay relevant to the customer, right? Because they want to deliver quality content to the customers so that people stay on Google, right? If people are getting shit responses when they do a search on Google, they're not going to stay on Google. They got to go to Bing, right, or whatever. But if they're getting quality responses, so it's important that when you update your website, if you've if you're doing updates, say once a month or once every 6 months or something, then you need to go into Search Console and tell it to re-index the website. Otherwise, you don't get any benefit. People don't know that your website's had a change and it doesn't send out any further information, right?
And that's also why you should consistently make changes, right? Whether it's graphics, pictures, something, language, add keywords, update something regularly. I mean, if it's not you, pay somebody to do it, but
and encourage people to read it. Like one of the things, if you put up a blog post every so often, people put up a blog post and they expect people to come and see it. Well, nobody's going to come and see it unless you tell them it's there.
right.
So
Absolutely.
the trick with that is to send out a snippet, like you send out the first two paragraphs of the blog post, and with a read more option down the bottom, and in the read more options is a link to the website.
Right.
And you would do that on Google My Business, for example. You'll put up, latest post, whatever it is, a weekly post on Google My Business, put a picture up about it. The learn more button takes them straight to the website. So the snowball starts to increase because they've gone to Google My Business, they found it, they've gone to the website, you're getting more traffic. Google sends it out to more people because you got more traffic, you get more people, you get more traffic, you get more people, you get more traffic, and it starts to build, right?
Nice. So in terms of Google My Business, Fred, what would you say like the top 3 things that you can do to gain that visibility, or use it to grow traffic or tie your other social medias maybe to that? What are like some of the top suggestions for that other than post on Google My Business, which I know you said?
But that's it. That's right. And reviews, getting people to write reviews. It's content and reviews. They're the only 2 things you can really do on Google My Business. Right. So the more reviews you get, and the benefit of reviews, not that you may have any negative reviews, but if you have got negative reviews, the only way to get them off there is to actually move them down the list. Right. So the more positive reviews you get, then the negative ones move down and people don't see them, or they might see 100 positive reviews and 1 negative review, and they don't give a shit then anyway, because it's just somebody being nasty.
Right.
But yeah, so it's reviews, and you can, if you go into your Google My Business page, there's an option there to share your link to get reviews, right? So you just grab the direct link and you send people there, and they'll get a pop.
Can you show me on yours? Because I can't quite figure out how to get to mine.
Let me just bring it up and see if I can.
I mean, if you don't mind.
I
mean, I think, and I'm happy, and you can put your link in the chat. If I haven't done that for you, I will for any of you on there. I mean, if we all did that, we'd all have 4 more today, right?
Let me get it set up.
That's what you get for showing up.
What's that? So what I want.
Bad singing and a Google review. It's like, yes, I should have taken a screenshot of that. Now I've got the little dessert cups over in the chat and you making a silly face. My tooth is going to drive me crazy.
That's just my normal face. I'm keeping it straight for you.
Yes,
Just loading the page up now, so.
it's okay.
So how many gallons is in that, Sheree?
That's 1 gallon. I
And
already
you-
drank my first gallon. I filled it up halfway again.
You got to drink 2 of those a day?
Mm-mm. And my goal is usually to drink 1. I just seemed to drink a lot more today for some reason.
So I'm assuming you can see my page with the Google My Business up on it. Okay, the easiest way to get there is you must be logged into your Google account to start with.
Uh-huh.
So once you're logged into Google, you simply go to business.google.com.
Okay.
Right? That gets you to your page. And
You know, they try to change the name of this and people still call it the same thing.
Well, the name should be your business name.
Well, I tried Googling, Google My Business and my name, and I couldn't find it.
I know, but it depends on, well, when you go in, you just edit your profile here, right? And to make sure, but it should be your business name. The information you've got up on Google My Business should reflect exactly what's on your website. So it should be the business name of the website, the address, and when you put in any details, there's a reference called NAP, that's NAP, and it's name
Mhm.
and phone number. And they must be consistently the same on every place that you post your details on the internet, not just on Google. Right?
And what's
So-
that called? NAP?
Yeah, name, address, phone number, NAP.
Oh, okay.
So if you're, and I'll use the street as an, well, even phone number as an example. Some people put phone numbers in and they might put parentheses around the first couple of digits, you know, or a dash or something like that. If you've done that on your website, it must be exactly the same on Google My Business, right?
Huh.
If you've put it up on any other business directories, it must be exactly the same on those directories. So your NAP must be consistent. And the easiest way to do that is that you set up a note with that on it. And if you put up a listing anywhere else, you just cut and paste the details. So for example, if you were in, you know, Main Street, Ottawa, wherever, and you put a listing up and you had Main ST in one listing, and then you had Main ST dot in another listing, or you had Main Street in a listing, they're all seen as separate businesses and you don't get the benefit, right? And it confuses the shit out of Google.
Hmm.
Right? So you need to be consistent with your naming convention. So, and the other thing, business directories, I don't know whether you've listed with any business directories or not, but if you do a Google for local business directories, you'll find a whole list of them. You know, there's 20, 40 in Australia alone, and just get Fatomat to list your business on those directories. And
Okay.
there's a dozen free ones. The more directories you're listed on, again, the better, because Google sees you listed on these and you get authority out of that as well.
Yeah.
But getting back to your original question, if you open up, you can see my listing here. It's got
Uh-huh.
ask for a review.
Okay. I
And
couldn't remember how to get there. That was the part that the Google dot or
just copy that link and send that to people. And when they click on that, it will open up, right? I'm logged in, so I don't know what this is going to do. Yeah, it just brought up my page, right? So that's what it'll do for them. As long as they're logged into Google, they can only give a review if they have the Google account open.
okay.
You should share that link, shouldn't I?
Does anyone else have any questions on Google My Business?
I want to know how Fred keeps his desktop so clean.
That's the second desktop, man.
Right.
That's the other screen. You're not seeing the one that is the one that I hide.
Probably
I
don't.
closed about 20 windows earlier. I still have about 20.
And the
open.
clue is the way I keep my desktop screen, as you can see here. Right, I got a folder, so when I do green screenshots, I just drop them in there, and the same. And every now and again, if it gets clustered, then what I'll do is I'll create a folder on the desktop and call it desktop June 2023, whatever. Right, and I just grab everything and dump it in there. Right, and it makes it. And it's important that you do that, because with your desktop, when you load your desktop on your PC, it's using application memory, and it slows the machine down. So every icon you have on your desktop will slow your machine down.
I send most of it off to iCloud. Once I've got it, if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a recording or something like that, I'll get rid of it off the desktop if I can.
Yeah, but it's like it's important to keep your desktop reasonably clean, because if you've got 1,000 icons on your desktop, that's 1,000 bits of memory your machine is using and slowing your machine down. So, right. So you've got your question answered, Sherry. Don't need to share the screen.
Yeah.
anymore?
Nope, I think that's good. I mainly wanted to know how to drive, how we can each drive traffic to that, but also, I mean, I guess if
Yeah.
you want to each take a minute, we could go in, if you have a Google business, and Nobby's giving us a rub down.
No, I'm just cleaning my desktop.
Did you clean the glasses while you're there?
I was thinking we could all maybe share our links in there.
I think that's yeah, I was going to suggest that too, that I drop mine in, so it all helps. So if you've got your Google My Business, if you don't have a Google My Business page, set it up. Excuse me. Because it is the most important thing on the web, as far as I'm concerned, because Google, everybody uses Google. If you don't have a Google My Business page, you're missing out on opportunities. Like, even if you put a Google My Business page up and you got one lead out of it over the 12-month period, would it be worth it? Right?
Yeah, it's free.
It's free. Absolutely.
Cost you a zip.
Yep.
As
Yep.
against cost you zoo.
Just remember, when you put your details in, the best, if you go to your website at the moment and grab the details as they are on the website and make sure that exactly the same. Like I said, that's the number one tip on Google My Business, that the NAP has to be consistent. And it's not only on Google My Business, but it's on every entry you put up on the web, right? So if you go to somebody else's website and you put your contact details in there, it must be exactly the same. And if you keep it consistent across the board, so if you forget what it is, then just go to your Google My Business page, copy it and paste it into the other listing, right? Because the Google My Business is the driver, right? Whatever is consistent with that will get indexed and get listed, whatever.
I don't know why. I think I tried to put this cover photo on here before and it would not let me do it. Let's see.
Somewhere.
Trying to tell me it's the wrong size. I think I even Googled the size photo it had to be. Oh, I guess it did upload it.
And the other thing about Google My Business is that you can rotate previous posts, so you don't have to always do the same thing. So every 10, 12 weeks or something, you can regurgitate stuff you've already done, post it again.
Now I put the wrong photo up. I didn't look at it close enough. How do I take it off? It's pending. Is there a way to cancel it?
So
You don't think so?
I haven't looked at it. I don't believe so. No, normally it's not. Let me just check and see.
Oh, you can remove the photos you've uploaded, but they cannot be recovered. Okay, that's fine. I figured it out. It's just because it had something on there from the other television thing that I didn't. That's not what I wanted. on there. I look at the fine print because I have one that has the network on it that I'm not with anymore and one that didn't. And I picked the wrong one because I didn't look close enough. So there we go. Yeah, that'll work. Good enough.
Wow.
How long does it normally take? Do you know?
For what?
For like the pending photos and things like that?
No answer. It depends on when Google scans it, right? So it's you know, usually I'd say it would be certainly within 24 hours, but
So how do you feel about when somebody has either more than one facet to their business, Fred, or more than one product? Like if Nabi does, thank you, does individual coaching and does group coaching and writes books, like how do you I think maybe you do that. How does that look on Google and how does that affect like the rankings? Does it matter?
no, because Google, like it's a business page. It's not a product page.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're promoting the business. You're not promoting the product, even though you might put an image up or a promo about the product, but it's
Mm-hmm.
really the business page is about the business. So if you put up an invitation to join a webinar, the business is running the webinar. You know, if you put up an invitation to buy a course, the business is running the course, right? So there's no conflict at all, right? But
Okay.
some people will try and game the system by maybe listing a couple of different business names at one location. Well, that doesn't work, you know, like, and the other thing that doesn't work is like, I'm surprised that Nobby's getting away with it with the accountant's address because they don't like business at the same address, right? So they don't like if you've got service offices, that used to be years ago, people used to do that. They just used to go and rent. It's and not like in a lot of places they've got where you just got a delivery office, but it's suite 1 at this house somewhere, right?
Mhm.
And people were using that. Well, that's no longer valid in Google. Yes, you can register it, but it's not going to give you any adjustments. You're probably not going to get a lot of views.
I'm glad I looked on here because I have a thing that says my Calendly link on here still, and I'm not using that.
Actually, I just checked mine, and my Book Me doesn't work, so I'm going to have to fix that shortly. Just went through and just checking the links. That's actually a good indicator. Otherwise, it's not working, but I'll find out shortly. I'll update that.
I think it's fun, isn't it? How we do that kind of thing and then go, oh crap, look, I've got that screwed up. But I think that's actually points to another really good point, Fred, is that, you know, when you have things like that that have links or corresponding things, no matter where they are, you need to have some kind of a system set up to go in and periodically check them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's called a VA.
Well, yes, there you go. I didn't mean necessarily you, but there still has to be some kind of check and balance on that. Because if you're going to put things up, and sometimes it's not what you've done, you know, it's just all of a sudden it's not working.
Come on, get over there.
I'm going to put mine in here. That is my Google, my business. If anybody wants to pop in there and say, she's ridiculous, you should never attend the Thursday nights. Unless, of course, you want to meet the queen without a crown. I got 5 more. I think I'm all right. What is this? Ray, is this another like a digital design thing? You're muted, honey.
Yeah, a mate of mine sent it to me, Cherie, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. It's I haven't had a look at it. I've just come in, okay. But it's run by Microsoft, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it.
Plenty of them around. And it's only because Microsoft own basically ChatGPT now, or
Yeah.
Open.ai, that they can boast about this. But Canva's been out there doing it for years. And there's so many.
Kinda.
In fact, I opened an account with one this morning called Runway ML, I think it's called. Can't remember if I had a free account. I think I had a free account. So many credits that you get to use, but they all do basically the same thing. Put in text, type in what you want. You want to see the queen without a crown, and it brings it up.
I mean,
Face will appear
It shows Cherie.
with jazz hands.
I had a session
I'll be
on the
back in a minute,
weekend
Ron.
with a mate of mine in Vancouver, and he's with a company called NowSite, where they talk about getting your website done, you know, all by AI. So he gave me a
Yeah.
demonstration of it, you know.
I actually
wasn't-
used that
hang
for
on.
about a year.
Hang on, but it wasn't personalized like
Mhm.
if you got you take what Fatima's done for me, that the website is personalized around the company, around New Skin, right? Whereas this one done by AI, you just fed into the system, their system. You know, oh yeah, I'm a distributor with Thrive, Amway, or whatever, and it just goes through and picks up standard stuff, puts it
Yeah.
in, and all these guys think it's the bee's bloody knees, but quite frankly, I'd rather have what, say, Fatima's done with me on her websites. It's been bloody creative and it looks smashing, you know. And then the
Well,
same
I
if
think
you get
she
any
knows you,
website,
right?
eh?
She knows you, so she has your personality and your
Yeah.
personal stuff to it. People buy products from people, not from static like pictures. Like that
Yeah.
dessert is nice, but it would taste much better if Nobby served that to me.
It tastes a lot better if he didn't cook it, okay? But
You'd be
We were
lucky
like,
to get
wait
it.
a
I'd probably eat it before it got to you.
anyway, when I get there,
That's
you can
the
buy me and Fred one each.
Fred
All
who?
right, Nobby.
Look,
Fred who?
I
wanna
think
go?
it looks great. I think he had to go to the bathroom, didn't you?
Oh, more
He's been-
marketing.
Eating or drinking a stubby or something before he got on here, and then he had to pee.
It's okay.
Into the stubby. Oh no.
Gotta let the dog out. Hang on, I'm back.
For a walk. Yeah, right. Take the weasel for a
Let
whiz.
the dogs out.
Let the dog out.
Fred, let the dogs out. Oh God, that's recording. You can cut that.
That's an old song, isn't it? Yeah.
No, actually, that gets snipped and put up as a blooper.
This is what you missed. Yes, absolutely. It's fantastic. Wayne, you're quiet tonight. Are we just like scaring you?
No, I'm just absorbing all the humor.
Oh, that's good.
I can
was
see it's
just
having an
checking.
effect on you.
It is, yeah.
It's got you
Well,
riveted
you know,
in your seat.
we got to keep it light. I did learn something today about YouTube, if anybody wants to hear it.
Yeah, sure.
So I found out from somebody who I will tell you, I can share with you what she does. Can you give me co-host, Fred? And then I'll actually show you. I'll actually show you her site. Now you're gonna probably say you could do this, Fred,
Should
but
actually have
you know
co-host.
what?
Should have co-host already.
Oh, okay. Hang on, I gotta get to actual YouTube first here. Oh, it wants to log me in there. That's okay. Oh, good God. There's a picture of Meg Ryan on there from a month ago. She looks like an alien. Anyway, sorry. I digress. Let me go back in here and share screen. Oh, I want to go actually to.
Is it still Friday or?
All day.
Whoops. Video business video. I have to think of what order the words are. I'm sorry. I want to show you this lady has a video directory, and so I want to show you what it looks like, but I want to show you what she's going to do for me. Well, that's not right. Oh, hang on.
What's she going to do for you that Fred couldn't do? 'Cause you know Fred's more marketing, don't you? And he's all about more marketing. When you get more marketing, there's more marketing if you get your videos done with more marketing through Fred with more marketing.
She hasn't been in those rooms, so she doesn't realize what that reference to that is all about.
But it's super fun and I like it.
Oh, you've heard it, have you?
Well, I've heard the repeating it over and over and over.
Yeah.
More. Okay, so I'm gonna share this.
More Marketing 101, it's called.
Yeah, why is it 101? Carol wants to know here.
Who?
What? My partner.
Come on, Cherie. Hurry up.
Oh, I don't know who Carol is. I'm sorry. I was like, I thought Nobby was seeing things.
Stop figurizing around.
Okay, so here's the screen. That my friend Linda has this site. It's the Video City directories. So you have all these different categories, and there's like literally like 300 of them or some crazy thing. So, and you can list with her like 4 different categories or whatever when you have the listing on there. But so like, let's try to pull up one.
Annuities.
Now I'm trying to find one that I know that has a video on it. Oh, business coaching services.
yours?
Like this one. And so when you go into the actual business, well, that one doesn't have a review. I thought that was one that she showed me. Maybe it's this one. You see it, you get your own page in here, but you can also write articles in here, and then you'll have a featured video in here. But the interesting thing that I thought was really cool about the way she does this is that she she calls it the Linda factor, which I think is amazing. But she actually helps your Google or helps your video, a selected video, rank up and actually stay there. So she showed me some of the ones that she had done. And the point in me telling you guys that is that for, like, and I'll explain how I'm using it. So I did a video today. I haven't sent it to her. I'm going to do that when we get done here. But I want to, and it's relevant to Ray, but it's relevant to anyone who wants more reach. But you can choose a video, and she will host it in that particular space in the video directory and make sure that it stays ranked up at number 1, which is really interesting. She showed me about 4 or 5 of her clients, and their video is up there. She does all the keyword research and all that stuff for you. So it's not like a trending video so much as it is a ranked video based on your keywords and stuff. So I don't know how much people are using YouTube, but it's about as important at this point as Google.
It is.
Which, Fred, did you know? I'm gonna see if I actually know something that you don't. Did you know that YouTube now has autocomplete on their search bar?
No, but I think most search engines do, and even your browser will have that anyway, in a lot of cases.
YouTube didn't used to have it where it shoots down like at Google, how it gives you start typing words and it starts auto-filling for you. And it does it now, but it's something that just happened. Hey, Google, stop talking. Why do I always have to have all the people talking in here? Between ALEXA, SIRI, and GOOGLE, they all need to shut up.
So
Sorry.
when you say that she's like a guarantee that it stays at number one or it's up at number one, right? How did she demonstrate that? Like what, did she type in the business name to list it, or did she type in a search term, or how did she demonstrate that it was listed on number one?
I'm trying to remember because we looked at like 4 or 5 different ones.
Wouldn't it be a Google search?
I think she was doing it by best business coaching, something like that.
So was it listed on YouTube or listed on Google?
On YouTube.
Okay. Because I just like all I'm just trying to find out, like, because if you and it's amazing if she's doing that, right? But if, for example, if you search for, business coaching in Frankston, it's unlikely I will come up on YouTube. But if you search for more marketing ideas, it's guaranteed I'll come up on YouTube. So it depends on the search pattern. So I'd be interested to see how she does that, because like when you talked about YouTube is very important. It's the second biggest search engine at the moment.
Mhm.
So you've got Google and you got YouTube, and people use YouTube probably if they're looking for information like tutorials or anything else, or how-tos or whatever, like we all use it. You jump on, how do you do this with ChatGPT? Bang, YouTube. You don't read the text, because I don't read text. I want to see somebody do it. That's just the way I operate. If I see a video on a topic, it's preference to me reading a book.
Right.
If somebody sends me a sheet on something and they've got a video on it, I'll watch the video rather than read the cheat sheet. Right.
Right.
So
I was
just the
going to
way I
show you
do
this.
it. Yeah. But, yeah.
So what she typed in was this: best business coaching services for small business. So she does the name of it, and so you see it doesn't have that many views, which is interesting, but it does have the
But if you click on it, it should actually open it up. Right. If you click, so the
Go ahead.
business directory's got, so she's had 146 views.
So what she's going to do with this, which I think is really kind of a cool thing, is each category is going to have this own little thing right here. So it'll come up with your, like, it might say best marketing ideas for small business or something. So these are all going to be different signs on this. So this, as they continue to grow in those categories that I showed, it's just a really interesting way, I think, to kind of enhance what you're already doing. But also, this is why kind of my head has been in this space, because I've talked to her a couple times. And between the Google My Business and the YouTube, I think it's pretty important that your presence is correct in both of those areas and arenas, and that you show up there, because that's where everybody's going, one or the other.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's even like what I mentioned before about the local, like this is a local business directory. I don't know what our pricing model is, what she charges for it, right? But the more business directories you have an entry in, and it doesn't have to have a lot of content, like as long as it's got your business name and your address and stuff like that, then there's a huge SEO benefit in that, right? Because Google sees you listed all over the place, and it suddenly, it gives you an extra flag in the authority space. So it says, yes, you must have some authority on this topic, because you've got all these listings out there, right? So and it's the same with getting, guest blog posts on other people's sites. If you can get a guest blog post on sites, that's a benefit.
Yes.
Sharing links, it's like what we said before. Let's everybody put up the links and let's share them. Like I just put a link in the chat, and this is a website I own, right? And it's called Local Business Directories, and every member of the community has got the opportunity to put their listing up there at no cost, right? Like there is a paid option there, but if you send me the details, or I'll upgrade anybody that puts the listing up to give them full feature access. Now, there's not a lot of benefit, but there is a benefit, because it's another listing out on the internet.
Well, and I know that I have put myself in a lot of those, Fred, and that's one thing. I've had two different people, one that was a YouTube expert and one that was just a branding person, and both of them said, wow, you've done a really good job. You take the front page, of Google. And I'm like, well, that was intentional, and I worked really hard for that, even though there are people with my name, besides me. So I think it's with whatever you do, whatever your intention is for whatever your business is, you have to be diligent about being found for that, whatever the name is or whatever you're doing.
And it's not a set and forget, it's like you've got to be constantly monitoring, updating, putting content out there, because if it's like if you have a static pond, it's going to get mosquitoes, it's going to be stagnant and everything else.
Right.
If it's a flowing stream, then you're going to attract fish and whatever else,
Well, and I think the other thing too, like people get really, when this is something Linda and I talked about today, is like people get like completely like beside themselves when they think about doing video. And like, I can't do it. Like, and it's like, there's honestly, there is just no reason to freak out about it. You can actually, and this is what her point is, that she can help you with rank a video that links to all the things that you want people to go to that you don't even have to be on. I mean, you don't even have to be on camera. Although as I reminded her today, people buy from people. They like your face. They don't care what your hair looks like or lack thereof. They don't care if you have 20 extra pounds. They don't care. Men
But
really
they
do.
don't care what your hair looks like.
And if they do, they're not for you because they're probably a-holes. I mean, let's be real. I mean, that's what it is. If somebody cares more about what you look like than the service you provide or whatever, they are probably not meant for you. And, that's fine too. But I think, to shy away from it is not good. Because it's not good for your business, because people, and I told her, I said, I think this has become even more increasingly true now, because we just spent 3 years almost in lockdown where people couldn't be around people. And people, as much as they will say, and I know, Navi, you're going to disagree, but people like people. They like people. And they want to see people. They want to see their faces. People inherently look at faces so they to know that's a trust factor for them. So you got to show up as your business. It doesn't matter what you look like or how you sound, or if you're like perfectly spoken. That is not the point. I think it's more important to be confident in your knowledge and your delivery than anything else.
What about humor?
Well, for me, it's kind of a must.
It'd be good to get some every now and again, wouldn't it?
Humor or some? I don't know what we're
You do
talking
more.
about.
You do more marketing, I'll stick with more money.
Yes, how about we have more marketing so we all have more money? Woo! I'm sorry.
No.
We might want to close with that, because like that's amazing. Does anybody else have, I think I've clicked everybody's link. Ray, did you have a link?
Did I have a what?
A link do you have a Google My Business?
My business link for your review.
Oh, hang on.
For your Google My Business.
You'd
I
probably
don't
have
have
one
a-
for raytradaway.com. Fred, would you like to, or would you like me to, we'll make a post in CNP group to do a Google My Business thread. Post yours below, go right. If you know,
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, who
Yeah, you feel
business
free. You might attract more people than me. So I'd see if that works.
Okay, I will make a post with that. And you know what? If you all want to look, and just know that this picture that I'm about to take right now of all of us will be, well, I better hide the dessert. We're going to take a picture. So look at the camera. I'll take these out. And we're going to, I don't know if I did it. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Hang on. There we go. We'll use that for a Google My Business.
Good to see you
Photo.
happy, Ray.
You're awesome. I will see you guys next Thursday. I don't know how many I'll make next week. Probably one other one. I don't ever know which day because I'm doing something that's requiring me to be gone at 8 o'clock. Or I'm sorry, 6:30 to 7:30 my time, and it makes for a really long day, so I can't do all of them. So
That's not a valid excuse.
I know, right? Well, my husband likes me, and sometimes he would like to actually be awake when I'm awake, which is awesome. Sometimes when that happens,
Yeah, well, sometimes.
it does work out well. All right. Well, I enjoyed speaking with you, gentlemen. Hopefully you guys learned something. I will work on those links for who I have, and I'm going to go post that in there so you can go search for yours. Ray, you can ask Fatima to see, because she will know probably if you have that set up, and if not, she can get that set up for you. Yeah. All right. Are we good? Nabi, do you have one? Did we ask you that?
Well, I'm just on the page looking for where the link is. I'm on the Google.
Did you have the same interface that I had, like the same listing?
I've got money rules.
Yeah, but when you go in, so have you gone logged into business.google.com?
Okay. No, I've just gone into to Google My Business, and it's come up with my listing.
Okay, but then you should be able to edit your profile and have a look. Like it should have all the boxes up there to add events and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Well, on the right hand side, it was get a review.
Yeah, because in the little thing, if I had to click more on mine to get the next box down that said ask for a review.
Got it.
But if you do that, and if you, thank you. And I'll click on that one real quick too, because I have all the windows open. And Wayne, you don't have your business relaunched yet, correct?
No.
Okay. Well, look, you're going to be all in the know when you do that.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, and then I'm gonna also post that in as a post in the CNP group. So that link you just saved, you guys can go post in on that as well. So thank you, gentlemen. Always a pleasure. And we will see you. If I don't see you before Thursday, I will see you next Thursday.
Have a great week.
Sounds good. Thanks. Bye.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.
Which
Bye.
will be true. Which will be true. Okay.
Which
Go
is
find your husband while he's still awake.
he went out and he left, went walking without me. Wham. Oh well, that's okay.
Did you get the message?
No, I saw him leaving. It's fine. He wanted me to go with him, but I came and
He
spent the time
took
with
the dog
you,
instead.
so. No, his phone, more like it. So, all right. Goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you.
Have a great day.
Take care.
See you guys.
See ya.
Right.